Yo, what's up, bros and girls of the Mirror Cult? We've got a lot of things, and I really do mean a lot of things to talk about because, damn, so much shit has happened in the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, we haven't had any MirNews, content lately, so we're gonna be uploading it now. You guys will be watching it. There's a lot of things to talk about, but I think we'll start with the thing that happened first, which is, the whole tagline of this. We're gonna be talking about the Esports World Cup, MSC. We're also going to be talking about, the whole Mr. AP RRQ versus RBL Audi TZ, the whole situation. Just going to shed some light into it for the international viewers who may not know what's going on, but is going on in Indonesia because it's been fully in Indonesian. We'll have some translations later on as well. But we'll start with match fixing in MLBB because for some reason, the trend for controversy has been around match fixing in the last few weeks of MLBB because it all started off with MPL Malaysia. You can see this official statement from MPL Malaysia. Dear MPL Malaysia community, the league has concluded our investigation into the allegations involving Bounty Esports and its members based on the evidence presented by all parties. These results are as follows. So, Nick Dominus Muhyiddin attempted to engage in match fixing and offered financial incentives to two Bounty Esports players to throw a match. These are serious violations of integrity and professionalism. Bounty Esports was not found to have committed any infractions. However, the team has committed to strengthening its operations and management in cooperation with the league. In light of these findings, MPL Malaysia has issued the following penalties to Dominus. So Dominus will be suspended from MLBB Malaysian esports ecosystem effective immediately for 1 year from the 18th of April to the 18th of April 2025, a whole year. And this includes MPL Malaysia, MAL Malaysia, and any event endorsed by Moonton Games. So it seems like based on my research, at least from this whole topic, the Mr. Dominus, it was the most... for Dominus, he tried to play it off as a joke, right? Whether it's a joke or not, we will never know because that's between him and himself, basically. But he actually, texted a message to the players of Bounty Esports saying, yo, I'll throw this game if you give me some cash or some shit like that. And he said it was basically a joke. If you read it outside of the context of you knowing he's an esports player, it just sounds like a joke. But that ain't a joke you can make in MLBB or in any esports, to be fair. Once that gets reported, you're dead, right? Technically, you're kind of dead in that part. So there it is for the whole issue about MLBB Malaysia. But now we get to the really scary shit, which is MDL PH, because this also happened recently, and you guys can see in the picture here posted in front of you. There's a picture of Ducky. And then there's also a picture of... There's a lot of official statements we'll get to. Like, there's an official statement from TNC. There's an official statement from RSG. And an official statement from... Teletiger? Is that the team? Teletigers Esports Club. So, let's start with the first picture here, which is, again, Ducky, who posted on Facebook. I'll find out whoever this guy is working with and some of the people who fixes matches and deal with you so effing good. You won't forget about me. You're a disgrace of a head coach. Jigen Paul. Apparently, this is the dude in MDL PH who's been trying or has been, match fixing. You can see there are Indonesian translations here, and then it's in Tagalog, obviously. But basically, what it means is, I have a business offer for you for MOBA, right? And how much is it? And then the guy says, 3 games for MPL and MDL. The fee is 100,000. I think it's 100,000 pesos. And Jika, which means, are you G? I don't know how I understand that, but yes, there's Indonesian translations, okay? And then he also said, like, I'll also, like, bear the toll fee, technically. And he's like, what? Why? And then he said, the player that's been offered this, he said, I don't want anything like that. I don't want to go... I want to go with that road. I don't know. The translations are kind of fucked. I don't know if the Filipinos can help me here with some real translations, because these are the translations that are from Tagalog to Indo, and I don't even know if that's accurate. So please, if you have the right translation, let me know. But next, we also have the MDL PH Season 3 official statement from MDL PH for alleged game fixing in MDL Philippines. We are aware of the community discussions about the alleged game fixing in MDL Philippines Season 3, and the league is already investigating this matter. MDL Philippines seeks to uphold professionalism and does not condone match fixing and any activities that will compromise the integrity of our tournament. Please stay tuned for more updates. Then we have the official statement from the team that, Coach Jigen Paul is from. I don't even want to call him a coach because I have to agree with Coach Ducky. If this whole thing is true, man, what a disgrace of a head coach. I mean, what a disgrace of a coach. What a disgrace of a person in esports to be doing all this shit, man. But the organization has noted the actions of Jigen Paul Dewagny, I'm sorry if I butchered the name, also known as Jigen Paul, a former coach of the MLBB team of Tele Tigers Esports Club. TGR contracted the coaching services of Jigen Paul on the 7th of August 2023 and has been inactive since late November 2023. The organization, its management, the MLBB managerial staff, and players who were completely unaware of the external actions of Jigen Paul. So everyone was completely unaware. Due to the allegations and accusations of match fixing, fraud, and other unsportsmanlike behavior, the organization had decided to terminate his collegiate esports staff agreement due to his alleged involvement in a match fixing issue in MDL/MPL and his inability to perform his responsibilities as a coach to one of our teams, especially Team C. With this effective immediately, Jigen Paul is terminated, blah, blah. So basically, they say that they are not a part of any gambling. No problem. It's just this nerd that is ruining their name. But also, official statement from RSGPH saying here that as a result for, the whole problem, we have identified the following players as being guilty of the match-fixing allegations: Raven, Aries, Arellano, and Christian John Nija Kalantok. So for Nija and Aries, what the frick, man? What the frick? I don't know how it is, but seriously, it's really disappointing to see these young players, and for whatever region, even from MPL Malaysia, their careers completely ruined. They terminated and probably blacklisted for a long time. And even from TNC here, we have the official statement for the suspension of G from all team activities. The action follows a thorough review of our team's value and code of conduct, blah, blah. Furthermore, we are actively engaged in ongoing coordinations with the officials of MDL Philippines regarding this issue. We understand the importance of transparency and accountability in maintaining the integrity of competitive gaming, and we are committed to working closely with the league to ensure the appropriate measures are taken. So during this period, G will remain on forced rest as we continue our internal review. So that's the whole arc of MDL having these, fixed matches. But this is the problem with having any fixed match anywhere in an ecosystem. Because now, because of these, match fixing, the whole match fixing scandal, and again, it could be a joke that was too far, like in MPL Malaysia. It could be the real thing that happened, like in MDL Philippines, that is still under review. Or it could just be a whole accusation alert, right? It could just be a random accusation from fans. But either way, this has caused a big ripple effect, because I've been watching games in the Philippines. Actually, I haven't been watching because I've been streaming, so I've been casting. My bad. But I have been paying close attention to all the matches in MPL PH, in MPL Indo, and in MPL MY, just to see what's going on, etc. And even in MPL ID, we don't even need to talk about MPL PH. Even in MPL ID, when we see these matches like RRQ versus Aura, Evos versus Geek, Rebellion versus Dewa, all the matches we've seen, I see a lot of comments just saying match fixing, because of the ripple effect of that one MDL or MPL or whatever it is. Whenever a game is has these issues, everything gets affected, from the biggest league, the highest tier league, to even the amateur leagues, where everybody now doesn't know technically if the matches are credible. Well, I'll tell you this much, at least for MPL ID, we've never experienced any match fixing, and hopefully we'll never have to experience any match fixing. So for MPL ID, we're safe. But the thing is, in MPL PH even, we've seen comments, and the comments are even worse in MPL PH. That's what I'm trying to get at here, where the comment section is just full of people saying match fixing, especially when Oni PH lost to Blacklist, and then Omega wins against Blacklist, and Omega wins against AP Bren. There's been a lot of volatile matches in MPL Philippines, and because it has happened a week technically after the whole issue, the ripple effect is insane. A lot of people are already saying random shit like that, and MPL Philippines has actually went on and given a statement as well to this whole issue, and I'll read this out right here, right now. Official statement on alleged gambling issues. Dear MPL Philippines and MLBB esports community, MPL Philippines conducted a series of investigations regarding the gambling allegations involving Onyx Philippines and its players. The league found no evidence to prove that the team, the management, and its players are involved in any illegal activities, as opposed to the screenshots that circulated last 26th of April. So this is what I was talking about when earlier I pointed out that sometimes it could just be random, blatant accusations from fans, from whoever it is, and they've already conducted the review, the investigation, and it seems like there's no problem whatsoever. So the teams are just getting better, believe it or not. Omega swapped their entire roster, believe it or not. They have Chaknu back now, so with them winning, it doesn't automatically mean that these higher teams are throwing matches. But yes, that's what we have going on when it comes to all the match fixing scandals, etc. For you guys, hopefully all this is kind of clarified to you guys that nothing is going on that's too crazy. That match fixing is, whenever it happens, at least as well, it gets stopped right away, ASAP. And MLBB has done a good job for both MDL, MPL, and everything, has done a good job at avoiding this whole issue. But now comes the next very, very freaking cool news, guys, which is the Esports World Cup. So Esports World Cup and MSC, a lot of you guys have been asking whether it's the same thing, whether it's a different event completely. And I'll have to tell you guys here, confirmation, Esports World Cup and MSC 2024 is the same thing. For MLBB at least, right? For MSC, it's a tournament that will be in the Esports World Cup to determine who becomes the Esports World Champion in MLBB. That's their MLBB. So, yeah, I want to tell you guys exactly what's going on in the whole thing. So, right off the bat, MSC is going to be part of EWC and will be taking place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in July this year. The exact dates will be announced very, very soon, but the prize pool of MSC will be the highest ever MLBB prize pool in history with $3 million to its name. We also have the confirmed participating regions so far that include Indonesia, China, Eastern Europe, Central Asia, Latin America, North America, Turkey, Middle East, North Africa, Philippines, Myanmar, Malaysia, Singapore, and Cambodia. And the final slot of the main stage will be announced very, very soon. Now, MSC will be rebranded from the MLBB Southeast Asia Cup to the Mid-Season Cup. I think for a lot of you guys following my channel especially, you guys will already know this. So it becomes more inclusive and meets the increasing global demand for MLBB esports, whereas before, it was only technically for the Southeast Asian countries. Even though in the last MSC, we did see Turkey, we did see NA as well join, but now it is more of a global event. And we will also have a different part of Esports World Cup MLBB. So a lot of people might be seeing a lot of posters here and there on Instagram, and you guys are probably asking me, yo, Mirko, what the hell? On Instagram, I saw the Esports World Cup for MLBB. The prize pool was not $3 million USD. It was $3.5 million USD. Now, I'm telling you now that there is a split of the prize pool. $3 million USD for MSC, which is going to be, just normal MLBB. And we have the 500,000 USD that will be for the Women's MLBB or MWI 2024. Usually MWI is a standalone event, but for this one, we'll have male and female MLBB. So male will be MSC and female will be MWI 2024, technically. And it will also be a part of EWC, hence why the 500,000 US dollar prize pool, which is again also the most prestigious women's MLBB esports event to date in terms of the money, the teams participating and everything. And there will be 12 countries participating. This is thanks to a multi-year partnership between Moonton and the Esports World Cup Foundation. Announced by Saudi Arabia in October last year, the Esports World Cup aims to unite the world of gaming around a single tournament and become the new home for esports. It will also include the biggest esports titles and offer the largest prize pool in esports history. And EWC 2024 will happen over 8 weeks in Riyadh, and the very first game announced by the Esports World Cup Federation to be a part of EWC 2024 is MLBB. So with the big-ass prize pool that we have right now for MSC, for MWI as well, it looks great. I feel like now there's going to be so much more impact. We're going to have so much more ways to actually reach out to the rest of the world, because for the longest time MLBB has been more of a Southeast Asian thing, and worldwide we haven't really seen a big growth spurt, at least for MLBB. So with the help of Esports World Cup, with the help of MSC, and with the help of the prize pool and MWI being this high, like I said earlier, we've already gotten a few big names joining in. Gaming Gladiators to NA, basically taking the Ohio Brothers roster, and we also have from Europe, Team Spirit taking the Deus Volt roster. So a lot of crazy, big organizations that we usually see and in different games are already setting their sights on MLBB, and this is just going to be great for the growth of MLBB worldwide. Hopefully, we will finally have, events outside of Southeast Asia as well, and I think Esports World Cup is the start of it all. Riyadh, we're going to have the first ever outside of Southeast Asia moment for an MLBB international trophy, and I honestly, personally, cannot wait for the Esports World Cup. And while we're on that point, just also want to give a massive shout out to Esports World Cup for its first ever, big marketing strat, which is putting itself in the LA Sphere, basically. If you guys don't know what LA Sphere is, you should just Google it, honestly. It's the world's biggest outdoor LED screen and one of the most iconic landmarks today. And being the first MLBB ID player has been shown in LA Sphere is an achievement definitely for Vivian, and I think for FlapTZ too. Being the first ever Filipino, player, MLBB Filipino player that's been shown in the LA Sphere. So they've chosen FlapTZ and Vivian. I honestly feel like it's because of, FlapTZ basically being the face of MLBB international in the international leagues or ML. I think FlapTZ is the face of MLBB in 2023. He won so many titles. I can't even freaking say how many titles he won, but he won the biggest one of them all as well, the M5 World Championship, and the guy was the finals MVP, so he got the quality and the class as well. A lot of people have been saying, including me, Few is the GOAT. I think FlapTZ is definitely in contention as well, dude. This guy has been out there, and he's also much more vocal, so a lot of people put their eyes on him more, and that's the same for Vivian too. Vivian, the GOAT for MLBB Ladies, an Indonesian player from Bigatron era who are on a win streak, 26 times win streak. Plus one gold medal achievement in SEA Games as well. Bigatron era have been dominating the whole women's side for such a long time, and honestly, looking at the new one, they're definitely the current favorites coming into MWI and the Esports World Championship, and you can definitely see the level up technically for, I think. We spoke about esports in general. We spoke about MLBB in general, but for the MLBB ladies side as well, the MLBB women's side as well, and having them get spotlight too now will show that, a lot of maybe other female players will be interested now. A lot of eyes will be set on them, and the viewership will rise. The international level will also rise, because for the longest time, again, I hate to repeat the things that I say, but technically for the MLBB women's scene, it's been Bigatron era. It's been this one team that has dominated, this whole roster that has dominated. And when we see this, the achievements of Bigatron era and Vivian, it's just been so cool to see them rise all the way to the top. And in Indonesia, we've actually seen some comments asking, why is Vivian up there? Why isn't it not Lemon? Why is it not Kyrie? Why is it not other players? And to that, it's just a very simple answer, bro, we already have one for MLBB men, and it's FlapTZ, who's there. The MLBB female one will obviously be Vivian. There's no way it'll be anyone else. I think it would actually be harder to choose for MLBB men who would be placed there. Because we have so many big names for MLBB. FlapTZ was chosen in the end, which is, again, in my opinion, a very, very good decision. But for the women's side, I think for now, we technically only we have one name in mind, we really have one name in mind. And with Vivian as well, she's also such a good character in MLBB. She's all around a very cool person, she ain't toxic, she ain't crazy. Well, maybe she's toxic on stream, but that's everybody, So, but yes, it's very, very cool for MLBB women's internationally, and very, very cool for the Indonesian MLBB esports scene to have someone like Vivian placed her name in the LA Sphere. Still an astounding achievement for sure, and I think it is the same for all you Filipinos. That's how proud you guys feel for FlapTZ, first ever MLBB Filipino player to be in the LA Sphere. Last but definitely not least, we have the whole taunting situation that's going on in Indonesia, and we'll just get straight into it. So Rebellion TZ, a player from Rebellion, has been trash talking a lot, not just RRQ, but every single team that he faces off against. And up against RRQ, this was the most hype, obviously, because he said that it was only Skylar who could play. He said that, RRQ, we're going to send RRQ to the red zone, which is no playoffs, etc. So stuff like that, which is great. I still think it's great. I don't think it's toxic at all. I think it was very, very cool. And it seems like, for the most part, everybody agrees with that. But then, this is also something that I was not aware of, because I was aware of the interviews, but I was not aware of the interview done by media backstage. So, Rebellion Esports posted this and basically asked the question to Audi, saying, for Clay actually said in the interview that you're just looking for exposure. That's why you started trash talking RRQ. What are your thoughts on that? And Audi actually said, there's a lot of different reasons, but yeah, he wants to find exposure. Number one, for sure, he wants to get, his name recognized. And then number two, he definitely wants to have, more of an entertaining scene in MLBB. And then number three, it is he wants to, have a little bit more of an edge mentally. Because when he trash talks, he actually does see an impact of the trash talking against enemy opponents, against different teams. Because teams will actually focus on him, get mad, get emotional during the game, and then ultimately lose the game. So it is an actual strategy from Audi TZ. But then the caption. Audi TZ didn't say this in an interview. The caption from Rebellion Esports, and this is where I think it's a bit of a blunder from Rebellion. Because Audi is doing his own thing here. But then the Rebellion Esports caption says, now in interviews with Bude, if you answer, you got lucky. If you answer like with a normal, very basic answer, which is, by the way, boring in my opinion too. But again, in the context of a team saying this in the caption, saying that those answers are boring, and then tagging that shit is wild. Saying that shit, I think, is still like, you can get away with that, saying like, oh yeah, you can't just say lucky, you can't just say, yeah, we won because we were, you have to have some spice in there. That's actually okay, because I've been saying that for a long time myself, on stream, everywhere. Just don't have regular basic answers, please. Say something different. But Rebellion tagged Clay. That's a bit weird, like, why tag a specific person? Rebellion, I think that was a very, very big blunder, in my opinion. That was the only blunder, because again, for all these trash talk and everything, I think it's cool. And yeah, RBL, with the trash talk though, we do see the consequences of the trash talking for Rebellion and Audi TZ, because after the loss against RRQ, if you open Audi's IG right now, you're going to get a lot of comments. You're going to see a lot of comments, like 30,000 comments, bro. And Audi posted on his story, you'll see it on your screen right now, for the kingdom, if you guys want to hate me, go and hate just me. Please don't hate my family. Please don't hate my girlfriend as well. And please just bring fun with your comments, like make it fun, because he enjoys this as well. As long as it's not like fully hate towards his family and his girl, as long as the hate is given to him, it's all good. But then we have a comment from Mr. AP, and I'm going to have to enlarge the screen here. All right, so I'm going to translate this to English, guys. Mr. AP tagged MPL ID, we own this, ? And then he said basically that, does every team need to taunt for them to be cool, for them to be entertaining? And if we don't want to join you guys, we don't want to join the most entertaining team, and the expectations of the most entertaining team, is it wrong? Are we wrong? We're focusing on playoffs, we're focusing on competing, we're focusing on winning. And if we want to entertain the viewers at home, if it's purely just entertainment, then don't watch MPL, watch Netflix. There's Queen of Tears is out there, And then he said, by the way, don't tag my players who already have MPL trophies. Oh shit, bro. Freaking Mr. AP going spicy mode, bro. And then focus to your own teams at Rebellion Esports. Oh, yeah. And then at MPL ID, ? Is RRQ boring? ? Do we have to have gimmicks where we have to, like trash talk other teams? Is that necessary? We want to give, knowledge to our fans and our community. Is that wrong? Every team has their own strategies to find exposures, and I'm respectful of that. But dictating what every team has to do is bullshit, basically. Who the fuck are you? And then he also said that the only thing that's wrong here is the player who acts as a victim and acts as if they are the most hurt after provoking. Okay, so I'll give my thoughts on this. Okay, I'm sorry for the butchered translations because I had to read that and also I had to process it in my mind. But basically, that's what Mr. AP said in his story. And I have to agree. Again, for what Rebellion said, tagging Clay and saying that, I think it is too much for a team. Because I've been saying that for a long time as well. I feel like, these teams are very, very boring with their answers when they only say good luck, when they only say lucky, stuff like that. But, we are casters. We can give our opinion as well outside of MPL. But for a team to do that, I don't know. I still think it's okay for a team to say, these other teams have been boring, blah, blah. The bad part is, they tagged a specific player at RRQ Clay. They tagged Clay. And that's what I think made this whole issue a big one. But to the end of it, I actually cannot agree with what Mr. AP is saying, saying that, I don't know if this is towards AudiTZ, but if it is towards AudiTZ, then I don't think it's... Because he's not playing victim. AudiTZ is not playing victim right now. He's just saying, if you guys want to hate me, go and hate me, but just don't hate my family and my girlfriend, which is, I think, very, very fair. Move on first to the next part of this drama, because, yes, it continues, ladies and gentlemen. It continues. So we have a post, again, from Mr. AP, taken from the story, and he basically said, like, if there was no fire, then there would be no smoke. It's just a different saying in Indonesian. And he also said that, Skylar was the only guy who was good in RRQ. The others were mediocre. I will put RRQ down from 7th to 9th, and I will make RRQ not make it to playoffs. This part was still okay. It was entertainment, and I agree with that, Mr. AP. I think that was it was very cool. But then at RRQ Clay was actually asked by Clara on stage to answer against these taunting, and Clay basically said, yeah, it's cool, they're just looking for exposure, and this is a very normal response. This is, and I have to say, yes, it's very tame and normal response. It's basically like, it's very, very normal. And he also Clay also said that he got lucky beating Aura, and it's just respect to Aura. And there was a team that got triggered saying that MPL that these interviews are boring and tagged RRQ players, and this is where it was offside. And yes, that's so the clarification from AP, basically it's the same to what I said earlier. I feel like, again, from the part of where Clay, when Audi was trash talking, it's completely fine. And I think, yeah, it's completely fine. Even AP said it's completely fine. But the part where Clay got tagged individually was where it's offside. And yeah, I have to agree with that. Basically, the whole part now. And then also, we have the part where, so now that, there's the players are getting the hate, are getting hurt, they are blaming Kingdom. And that is basically fake. And you're blaming the Kingdom, blah, 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 etc. for this, for all the hate that you are getting, etc. And he goes on to reply to different stories, etc., blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's where it basically ends. But technically, to this day, we still have more and more comments, basically, on his story, basically about the same issue. And yeah, I'll give my take on this. Again, AudiTZ, what he's done, the whole trash talking, etc., I feel like it's fine. It's cool. I like it. I made a post as well with the Rebellion jersey, and I'm actually getting hate, which is freaking weird, bro. I think, a lot of people here who do respect, what Mr. AP are saying. I also respect what Mr. AP is saying. But there's a lot of people who take a look at what Mr. AP is saying, and they don't read it. They just think, okay, so AP's mad at Rebellion, and now that means, everybody who's Rebellion can get hate. And I posted a picture of me wearing a Rebellion jersey. This is just random, because I respect I respect the grind, brother. But yeah, I got a lot of comments saying like, bro, they thought basically that I am also trash talking other teams, which is not true. Okay, I just really like the pose. Okay, calm down, brother. I'm not playing victim as well, by the way. I'm just saying to the people who comment, read the statements properly, because you're hating on me for no reason. But anyways, I also disagree with with AudiTZ playing victim. Because he's not playing victim. He's just telling people to hate on him instead of hating on his family and his girlfriend, which is completely fine. Again, I don't think he's playing victim. When he does, him mentioning Kingdom, I think could be taken as a mistake. But even then, I would say it's not completely wrong. Because the man's been trash talking so many different teams, and whenever he loses to those teams as well, he gets hate. And he will also refer to the fans that he beat, basically. So I don't think it's 100% wrong that he said, like, to the kingdom who wants to hate me, because it's partly true. Obviously, there will be more people than just the kingdom who are hating them. Definitely not saying that, it's purely just the kingdom. And maybe he could have phrased his words a bit better. But it's not entirely wrong either, Like, he is getting most of his hate from the fans of RRQ, which is, again, I think normal. Because he did trash talk. I think the RRQ fans do have the right to trash talk him back, It's normal at this point. So I don't think the fans are wrong for trash talking him, because he did put himself in that position. If he won, he would be basking in the glory as well. So yeah, I think this has been a bit too overblown. Even the people like saying, like, why did he say kingdom? Because he trash talked RRQ. And of course the RRQ fans will be mad. I don't think having that, I don't think making that correlation makes him a villain, really. I really don't think so. But if you do think so, hey, we're a very freedom of speech, #freedom of speech channel. Go ahead in the comment section, tell me what you guys think. And everybody who are watching internationally, please let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below as well to this whole drama, because I would love to know your insights on this as well, because this is an Indonesian thing. We haven't seen any other region talk about this. So yeah, let me know. Peace out.